Hello, Liniski, fourth graders. Today we continue, Fortunately, the Milk by Neil Gaiman. Last week, remember, we lost the milk, but now Professor Stegg has a plan to get it back. I got back in the balloon basket. Professor Stegg unhooked the first emerald from his time machine and replaced it with the one that I had just taken from the weathered face of Splod in the future.
Do not, whatever else you might do, said the professor, touch those two stones together.
Ooh, why not?
Because, according to my calculations, if the same object from two different times touches itself, one of two things will happen. Either the universe will cease to exist, or three remarkable dwarves will dance through the streets with flower pots on their heads.
That sounds astonishingly specific, I said.
I know, but it is science, and it is much more probable that the universe will end.
I thought it would be, I said.
You look so sad,
Professor Stegg told me. I am! It's the milk! My children are breakfastless.
The milk,
said Professor Stegg.
Of course!
And with that, Professor Stegg pressed the red button with his heavy armored tail. There was a zoom, and a drop, and a doing, and we were hurtling through the cosmic void. And then it was dark. Very dark.
Oops,
said Professor Stegg.
Overshot a little. Only by a week, though. Hold on.
Professor Stegg leaned over the side of the basket.
Excuse me,
he said.
Is there anyone around?
Only me, said a very surprised-sounding voice from below us.
The priest of Splod.
Who is that up in the sky? Is it a bird? You do not sound like a bird.
I am not a bird,
said Professor Stegg.
I am a marvelous yet mysterious and prophetic voice, telling you a mighty prophecy, so mighty that, very mighty indeed. Listen, when a huge and good-looking, spiny-backed individual...
Monster, I told him. The prophecy said monster.
Accompanied by a scrawny human being of revolting appearance,
said Professor Stegg. That was not necessary.
Lands in a floaty ball-person carrier. You must not sacrifice them. You must instead take them to the volcano and give them the Eye of Splod, and this shall be the way that you shall know them. The human being will hold up some milk.
Is that a prophecy? Said the voice.
Yes.
Is there anything about crops in it?
I'm afraid not.
Oh well, thank you anyway, prophetic and mysterious voices from the air.
I pressed the red button. Daylight! We were in the middle of a very familiar volcanic eruption. Quickly, I said, give me the emerald. A little way away I could see a balloon being blown through the sky, while fire and ash was swept around it by the wind. I could see me in the balloon, standing next to Professor Stegg with my mouth open. I looked miserable. Professor Stegg, my Professor Stegg, gave me the emerald. I raced down the rope ladder and placed the emerald back in the face's eye. Then, as the volcano stopped erupting, I looked around for the milk. I knew it had landed on Splod's head when it fell. Fortunately, the milk had fallen into a small drift of volcanic ash and was unharmed. I picked it up, brushed it off, and started back up the balloon ladder. Professor Stegg pressed the button. The sky went dark. We were floating above a landscape of ominous towers and disquieting castles. It was not a friendly place. Bats flew across the sky in huge flocks, crowding out the waning moon. I don't like this place, I told the professor.
I don't see why not, he said. It looks as if it would be very nice when the sun comes up.
There was a loud flut. And where the bats had been fluttering, several pallid people were now standing. The man in front had a very bald head, and they all had sharp teeth.
We are Wumpires, they said. What is this? Who are you? Answer us, or we will vivisect you.
I am Professor Stag,
boomed the Stegosaurus.
and this is my assistant. We are on an important mission. I am trying to get back to the present. My assistant is trying to get home to the future for breakfast.
At the word breakfast, oh, the Wumpires looked very excited.
We have not had our breakfast,
They told us.
we normally have wiggly worms with orange juice on them. Orange juice makes worms even wigglier, like wandering spaghetti. But if we cannot eat the worms, we will eat assistant or even roast Professor.
Friends, we'll find out next time if Professor Stag and Father are able to escape the Wumpires. Read on, Winooski 4th graders.